And now, from your favourite British author, Inabber Television, a dramatic reading. Harry let go of the cup, but he clutched Cedric to him even more tightly. He raised his free hand and seized Dumbledore's wrist, whilst Dumbledore's face swam in and out of focus. "He's back," Harry whispered.
"He's back! He's back!"
Shane Dawson.
"He's back!"
Oh, hello there. I was just reading a novel written by Dobby the House Elf. This part of the book basically summarises how I'm feeling right now.
Such a beautiful place to be with me.
Yes, Shane Dawson has returned. And now, I did put a few warnings out there that Cheeto the Cat is indeed a Horcrux and nobody listened to me. I mean, why else would he have such a close personal bond with Cheeto? Oh. But for a quick recap for the little people that don't understand what's going on, because you actually have some form of a life outside of the internet, in the last year, Shane Dawson left the internet after a very dramatic scandal last year involving him, James Charles, Jeffree Star, and Tati Westbrook, which basically all culminated in Shane Dawson giving his best Onision impression.
This is insane. This is insane. This woman is— because you message drama channels! Oh my god. Because she is a fuck—
Language.
I can't. I don't want to say mean things about people. This is insane. You're fake crying. You are fake crying. Oh my god.
As a victim of abuse myself.
Oh my god.
I beg your pardon?
You are so manipulative. You're fake crying. You are fake crying.
Oh, I cry myself to sleep.
That is not real. Oh my god.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Now, a lot of people saw this live stream from Shane and thought to themselves, rightio, that most definitely is not the sweet old person that's been portraying himself to be this nice, reasonable guy in his videos for the last few years. In fact, that seems to be the person that he has tried to completely be the opposite of in his videos, and it basically came off like Shane for the last few years had been putting on this facade and actually papering over and hiding away the real true form of Shane Dawson, which really seems to be not a very nice person. Now, I was one of these people. I actually had this realization of maybe he's actually not that good of a bloke. And then after this, D'Angelo Wallace made a video which exploded on the internet as it resurfaced a lot of terrible and creepy videos between Shane and minors, and then an avalanche of stuff basically hidden for years started to pop up everywhere on the internet, and it just resulted in Shane Dawson finally making his 16th apology.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize.
This, unironically, would actually be a better apology than the real one. I wish I was joking, but I'm really not.
Hi. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know that I have done a lot of things in my past that I hate, that I wish I could make go away, that I try to make go away by deleting videos or untagging my Instagram things, or literally doing whatever I can to pretend like those things didn't happen. Because yes, I apologize for a lot of them, but I'm 31, almost 32. Those apologies suck. I don't know who that person is anymore. Every apology video I've ever made has been from fear. It's me sitting at home thinking the whole world hates me, and crying and hyperventilating, and then just turning on a webcam and just saying I'm sorry, and then hoping people know I'm a good person, and then it'll go away. And that is stupid. That is something that a child does, not something that a 31-year-old man does.
It is quite ironic that Shane says all of this in his video about how he doesn't want to run away from his problems anymore, and how he doesn't like his old apologies and doesn't want to, sweep things under the rug anymore. Yet at the same time, he deleted a billion views worth of videos on one of his main channels. So I am a little bit confused. Do you not like your old methods, or do you like your old methods? Because it seems to be a little bit contradictory, and I think that was a lot of people's problems with this apology. It was god-awful. Some of the things said in this about how he was inspired by Jenna Marbles to make this apology video really did just confuse a lot of people, because Jenna Marbles, I don't think had done anything even close to the amount of plethora of things Shane Dawson has done in his history on YouTube.
I saw Jenna Marbles' video, and it really inspired me, and felt like a sign from the universe that I want to do this.
Why are you the way that you are?
But yeah, that apology did not particularly go down too well. He lost a lot of something's wrong with my brain. He lost a lot of subscribers, and it resulted in him leaving the internet for a year. But that's old news. Let's put that in the bin, thank you very much, because Shane for the last few months has actually been returning to the internet. I did make a video on this, and if you didn't watch it, we are no longer friends, and you have to like this video and comment beans in reconciliation. Can't even say the word, just to simply make me feel better, like this video, because Shane has been returning to the internet, appearing on podcasts, his fiance's videos, and gradually making more and more posts on his own social media in terms of Instagram stories, and even releasing merchandise.
Look at the top of his head.
And now with that, releasing this terrible merchandise, I feel like it was more of a thing where he was obligated to via a contract of where he had to release a specific amount of drops, otherwise he'd probably get in a lot of deep water and probably financial repercussions, so he released this merchandise, and alas, Shane Dawson has made more money than all of us put together this year. But that brings us to the current day. Yes, the current day of where things in the world are just as bad as they were this time last year, if not a little bit worse. It's not that fun, is it? But yes, it brings us to the present day of where Shane recently uploaded a community post. Yes, a community post onto his YouTube channel, which was a really non-surprising thing. I think I predicted this, that Shane would slowly come through the back door of social media to eventually come through the back door of his channel, which is a community post, and then eventually come back to upload a video. And yeah, that's basically what he's admitting to here. In this post, he speaks about a video he was in on Ryland's channel in which he heavily featured. He speaks about his move outside of California and a bunch of other things involving his content, and we will get into that, but I do just have to ask you a question of, please, for the love of God, could you subscribe to this YouTube channel, folks? Because I genuinely, I really just need your money. So please, well, not your money, Google's money. So please subscribe. I'm joking. I want to hit 1 million subs. I want 1 million subs and money. And I like making videos, I promise. Please subscribe, I'm trying to hit 1 million subs by November the 1st. Ryland's been documenting our move on his channel. Check it out if you want to see what we've been up to. So yes, Shane Dawson has left California in a pretty surprising move to me personally. He's moved from California all the way to the big old scary mountains. So yes, goodbye Trisha Paytas and hello Republicans. Actually, no, that's the same thing, isn't it? Yeah, Shane recently moved to Colorado, and to be honest with you, that actually makes my previous joke make no sense. I just thought that... I just thought it would be funny, to be honest with you, and he's left, and that's the bit that doesn't matter about this post. Well, it kind of does, but moving on to the next part. I know it's been a long time, and I know I let a lot of you down. I promise I'm going to make things right and continue to own up to my past for the rest of my life. Action speaks louder than words, so I know it's going to take time. I completely understand that with all my heart, and I simply just want to come back to YouTube to sell merchandise and become an even bigger millionaire than I currently am. Wait, it doesn't say that in the post? Well, it basically should have, shouldn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not surprised by any of this. I will be saying that throughout this whole video because I'm very proud that I predicted this. But yes, I'm not surprised that he's acknowledging this because at the end of the day, Shane Dawson has a multi-million-dollar business and he is not going to throw that in the bin because, you know, somebody needs to buy this shit. Somebody needs to. I don't know who, but if you are... God, I hope you're okay. I really sincerely do. Now after this, Shane starts speaking about the more juicy stuff, a lot of the things that we've all been anticipating of what is Shane Dawson going to be doing now on YouTube. Because, you know, in the past he made a lot of videos where he shoved food in his mouth for 10 minutes and it didn't really do well for him, so then he moved on to do documentary videos based around YouTube, tea and beauty drama in the world, and that did very well for him until a lot of clips got exposed about him being creepy towards minors, but, you know, that's one of the main reasons I don't think he's going to be able to get back to his heights, but we'll get into it. I'm going a bit too fast here, but let me just read this post for you guys. Jesus Christ. As far as a YouTuber goes, I really just want to get back making stuff for my channel again that I'm excited about, and that means something. Oh yeah, because the 7-part series about whether Jake Paul is a dickhead or not, that really meant something to the world. And I'm saying that and are bloody featured in that documentary. My part was the best part, by the way, and I feel like it should have just been 3 episodes, and it probably would have been much more decent.
With all 3 episodes featuring me.
I'm genuinely feeling really good mentally right now, and I just wanted so bad to make something cool for you guys. I've been staying up all night just brainstorming and getting excited about the idea of filming, editing, and posting something again. I'm just waiting for inspiration to hit me, and just waiting for that next contract update to arrive of where I need to release merchandise. That doesn't say it in that bit either. Well, you know, that's what it means. Probably. Legally, I have to say probably. A lot of people seem to be surprised that Shane Dawson is coming back to the internet, and I'm not really sure why anybody is surprised by that. It's not like in the past where YouTubers have been cancelled for actual serious things, not just, oh no, he used the makeup product of his friend's rival, oh god no, Jesus Christ, what are we gonna do? No, in terms of creators being exposed for serious things, you know, a lot of them do just come back to the internet. Look at Red Kiwis, look at Minilad, look at James Charles. And I know, I mean, they didn't all do different things. They did pretty similar things, but you know, they were all cancelled and they came back to the internet. And if James Charles can come back to the internet, I think Shane Dawson's going to see that and think, well, you know, I can come back to the internet. A better example of this is Jeffree Star. Look at Jeffree. He uploads practically every month. I mean, maybe even every few weeks, and is still releasing products and is still making millions every single month. And yes, he's getting some dislikes, but ultimately he does have a core audience there. So yeah, Shane probably sees that and thinks, rightio, I'm now gonna tally-ho on back to YouTube. Why did I just say that? So the real question we have to ask is, will Shane Dawson fully recover? Because ultimately, I think a lot of us do like to lie to ourselves when we say that we weren't fans of Shane during the whole 2018 era. I understand, maybe some of you weren't, but I don't think we can look past the fact that back in 2018 to 2019, Shane Dawson was getting around 20 to 40 million views a video at one point, and let's not pretend here, there was always crazy anticipation for Shane's series, Shane's uploads, and yes, some of them aged badly, but at the time I think a lot of us were caught up in the hype. There were certain clips we hadn't seen, certain bits of things to do with Shane's history that we hadn't seen, so at the time we enjoyed the ride. And you can't lie to me, people. I know a lot of you were fans of it. I know I mean, a few people comment on my videos saying that they used to be fans of Onision, so the Shane part doesn't really surprise me, and if you were one of those fans of Onision, I really hope you're doing well, and I hope therapy is also going well. But what I'm saying here is he has developed such a massive audience that it's obvious that some people are obviously going to stick with Shane no matter any controversy, no matter what he's been exposed for. They are going to simply sit by and support Shane no matter what, because this does happen with every single content creator out there. And I looked at the comments on the post Shane made, and to be honest with you, most of it is positive. There are a few negative comments here and there, but a lot of it is just people saying how they miss his content, how they're looking forward to him coming back. And I also think we need to acknowledge that not every single person is on the internet constantly and keeping up with every single scandal, so naturally so, some people may not know actually what's been happening with Shane and will happily welcome him back to the internet when he uploads a video. This is just something that happens. Not everybody is updated, and I feel like this is something which will benefit Shane. He's back! But to be honest with you, I don't think Shane will return to the previous heights of his YouTube channel. I expect he will still get decent views and much better views than me. It's not really that hard though, is it? But he'll get better views than me and have a consistent audience of probably a few million people, but it will be nothing in comparison to what he used to get. And I think that comes down to the nature of things that Shane has been exposed for in the last year. It wasn't like he was just involved in one scandal, it was hundreds of different things. There was like a multitude of reasons to why people decided to leave this person's YouTube channel, because to be honest with you, there were a few controversies here and there in 2019, and I stuck around for a little bit until more and more started to come up, and I think at some point I was slightly biased, because at the end of the day Shane put me on his channel and I had some weird level of gratitude for that, because naturally so I think a lot of people would, but nowadays in hindsight, pretty idiotic move from me, and I see that Shane probably is, well, definitely isn't this person who he portrayed himself to be on YouTube for an incredibly long time. It was like he was basically just manipulating his own persona and putting out a fake version of himself on the internet. But I think given the Tati Westbrook situation last year and the clips I showed you at the beginning of this video, that was very much a persona, and he clearly wasn't the best of people. And it seems every single day a new terrible clip resurfaces of Shane Dawson. I mean, the other day I was going around YouTube and somehow found a video doing research of Shane where he kissed a 12-year-old at a YouTube event in 2011, and at that point Shane Dawson would have been 23 years old. And I have to say legally that I'm not 100% sure that this person was 12 in the video, but ultimately they did confirm it in the description. Yes, there wasn't a birth certificate, but at the end of the day, this person looks very young in this video, and Shane, which I'll show you here, is clearly in his 20s, and it is extremely creepy. And this is the thing with these creepy, disturbing clips which keep resurfacing. I think there are so many at this point that no one can just look past this, and we have to say this was a clear continuous pattern in Shane Dawson's content, and it is clear to me that he built a lot of his content on this disturbing nature, on this of these terrible forms of content, this weird humor that he has to use. Back in the day, most of Shane's humor did used to just be fat shaming and stuff like that, and I think for the most part people don't really want to be a part of a platform that was built on such negative foundations.
I make a public service announcement that Shane and I have not ever kissed off camera.
Wish I was attracted to you though, because I could turn you. I could buy you something.
You have. If I was gonna f you, it would have happened already. I'm telling you, I'm not interested in you.
I know, but I could change that.
No, you couldn't.
Yet you're young.
I mean, this is a pure example of these creepy videos. This is one I found when researching for my video about how Shane almost destroyed Drew Monson's career. At this point, Shane was around 27 and Drew was 20, and it makes it even weirder given the fact that Shane knew Drew since he was 13, given these Twitter interactions. And it is incredibly strange to me that there is such a pattern of weirdness here. And I think that's what comes down to the speculation around Shane and his friendships with people such as Drew Monson and Tana Mongeau, because even with Tana, it's arguably, well, no, it is even more strange in some deleted clips now, and understandably deleted, because the clip is what I'm about to show you, very creepy to hear from somebody in their late 20s.
Hi guys, it's Shane. So, when Shane and I met, I was 17, and it was just like a thing, like every single thing he said.
This sounds like the start of a really scary Tumblr post, and I don't like it.
When Shane and I met. But really, I was 17, and it was just like a thing, you know? Like, it was just everything I said. Like, if you said something in front of me that was like sexual, you'd be like, she's 17. We were gonna watch horse. And you were like, oh my god, she's 17. And it was just like a struggle, you know? Yeah. So now I'm 18, and today we're gonna do things that are...
I have a list of things that I want you to do now that you're 18.
He never tells me that, like, he's prepared, and it's just always like, okay.
Well, first things first, I think, like, the initiation process should be for you to see me naked.
Just because she's 18 doesn't make this any less weirder than it actually is, but also, it makes it even more creepier given the fact that at this time of recording, I believe Shane was 28 years old, and they waited. When she was 17, he had the idea of wanting to make that content, but he waited until she turned 18, which is so creepy. And this is one of the reasons I don't think this is going to have any help for his return to YouTube, given the amount of clear, terrible, immoral behavior in not really that long ago, to be honest with you. I mean, he was 28 at that point of time. I feel like at that point, you should know that is terrible. I mean, you know it when you're like very young, but Shane was 28 and somehow in 2016 got away with making those creepy videos with Tana Mongeau, who had only just turned 18. It is so unbelievable to me that this content was allowed to fly on the internet back then. I'm genuinely confused and baffled to how nobody, including myself, picked up on this. So with this speculation over his previous friendships and all of these creepy videos and scandals, I don't believe that in any way possible Shane is going to return to 40 million views a month again. Oh no, oh no, he won't get 40 million views again, oh no. I don't even think I've got 40 million views in the last year, so I'm not really going to feel sorry for the multi-million-dollar Shane Dawson. I don't think I'm gonna care. And this is something that really confuses me about Shane Dawson stands. They're like, you shouldn't say this mean thing about my favourite content creator. Oh, you shouldn't give him responsibility for his actions. And it's like, bro, he's a millionaire. He does not need you to simp and defend for him. Like, please, for the love of God, just stop. The remaining stands of Shane, you don't have to defend every single action that he's possibly done in his life, okay? You can enjoy other content creators, you know. It's okay. It's fine. I believe in you. My prediction is that Shane will come back. There will be backlash, just like there was with Jeffree Star, just like there was James Charles. People will start talking about it. It will have videos made about it, probably by myself. And his method will be to continue uploading, and eventually people will stop dislike bombing it, because with so many uploads, people will just, you know, kind of phase out and get tired and move on to speaking about different things. And I imagine he will start to have a core audience of 1 to 5 million viewers. I've been on this website for so long, man, and this is something that has happened countless amounts of times. I mean, maybe it may be a bit different with Shane given the magnitude of the situation, but Ryland still gets millions of views, Jeffree Star still gets millions of views, James Charles still gets millions of views. So really, why wouldn't Shane, if there still is that audience there? I'm sure they will flock over to Shane's channel when he inevitably comes back. Shane did say last year that he is done with drama and done with tea in the beauty community, and I think in terms of benefiting his future career, that probably is for the best. But when you look at his recent content, it is undoubtedly very drama based. So the question is what contents would he make now? What 8-part boring series will Shane Dawson produce now? Well, basically, he's going to be doing the exact same stuff. He's going to make documentaries, but this time, instead about whether Jake Paul is a dick or not, it will be on mainstream topics. Things that are spoken about average day-to-day people, things that perk the interests of non-YouTubey people. And by non-YouTubey, I mean, I don't know, some boredom blog down the pub who's drinking his bit, well maybe not him, but people who are just having general chit-chat in the office about things that are in the news, things that are in general media, and maybe things pop culture related to more MTV style things. I don't know. You get what I'm saying here. Just not YouTube drama documentaries. And a good example of this is the speculation over whether Shane is going to make a video about the Free Britney situation. This is something a lot of people have been speaking about. It's a big rumor, and to be honest with you, I hope that isn't the case. I hope he doesn't make a video on that situation, because I feel like he would handle it poorly. Given other sensitive videos he's made in the past about Eugenia Cooney, I don't think he's equipped enough to make videos about these situations, and also I just feel it would be a little bit exploitative from him, given the fact that he would be taking such a serious topic and using that to, I guess, regrow his YouTube channel and come back from his scandals. But I think Shane moving to Colorado is a clear indication that he is done with the YouTube space. He is done with the dramatic world around it, and he will be focusing on other projects not to do with YouTube, I presume. But I think the last part of this video we need to ask about, in terms of Shane's career, is what is happening? What is happening with the Dark Lord Sauron himself, Jeffree Star? I'm sorry, but why do I feel like I'm being introduced to the next villain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I mean, what is that? I feel like he's about to whip out some Infinity Stones. But yeah, Jeffree Star, arguably the spark that lit the fire in Shane Dawson's downfall. Most people wonder whether these two are going to remain friends after everything. And if you're wondering that, I'm gonna say, why? Money. He is going to make a lot of money if he remains friends with Jeffree, and that is the sad truth about it. I think they're in a contract together. I think they need to produce things legally because of the contracts they've signed, and I also think Shane Dawson at this point kind of accepts, well, it can't get any worse, so I may as well continue working with Jeffree, continue making products and making millions of dollars. I really would be surprised to see these two go separate ways. We all know that Shane sold millions and millions of makeup palettes which were based on exploiting incredibly weird theories that arguably probably shouldn't have been made by Shane. These theory videos are genuinely disturbing to me, and it's the fact that he took those theories with a lot of alt-right beliefs and just put it into a makeup palette and sold it to his millions of viewers. And that's so insane to me, the C-word theory palette. What? The dude was literally profiteering off some of the most hateful ideologies out there, because that's where a lot of these theories stemmed from. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna release a makeup palette about it now, guys. I mean, in hindsight, it's pretty baffling, but he made millions of dollars off it. And that's why I think he's going to remain friends with Jeffree. The big bucks, the millions. So whilst he is not going to be a part of the YouTube space, I feel like he'll still be connected to it via Jeffree. And this is another reason he probably won't go that far. Because Jeffree, in my opinion, is terrible. And it doesn't really show much growth to me if you're remaining friends of that. And usually I'm not the one who says you need to cut ties with certain problematic people, but at the end of the day, I feel like Jeffree has done so much, including things such as Hush Money. At this point, you can't really look past the fact Shane isn't looking at that and walking away. I feel like that's very telling, and it shows to me that Shane isn't really sorry for the things that have happened in the past, and I think he just regrets them because he's not getting the money and views that he used to get. Overall, I am somebody that used to be a massive fan of Shane. Some of the things that he put on this channel did genuinely used to interest me, but in recent times I look back on it and think it aged terribly, or some of the clips that I had never seen genuinely just in general disgust me, and I think a lot of people are in the same boat as that. It's such a strange thing to go from 40 million views to be one of the most disliked people on the internet, but that is the Shane Dawson story, and now we are in season 62. In the end of this season, Shane has sneakily returned through the back door of the social media world, and it has clearly worked for him, and it will clearly continue to do so, because that is just how the internet works. I'm sure he'll come back with some series, it will get dislike bombed, but then eventually that will all fizzle out, and yes, I will laugh at this first video of his comeback, you know, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to tune into anything from that after that. Maybe I'll laugh at a few things here and there, or use it to point out some obvious controversies or flaws or contradictions, but I'm not going to be a regular viewer of the Shane Dawson channel after 2019 and 2020 and everything else, you know? I feel like I'd just be betraying all my morals if I were to sit through every single video and watch them as a fan, not as a critic. Because who knows? I'll probably make a video laughing at them. But that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for coming along, everybody. I really do appreciate it, and I am going to ask you a specific question of, can you please like this video? I'm going to set a like goal. Yes, a goal of 35,000 likes. If we could get 35,000 likes on this video, I will do another video on his return when he actually uploads a video. So if you want that, please like this video, and then please could you subscribe? I really appreciate it. And my social medias are there in the description at inabber69 on Twitter and inabber on Instagram. Thanks for coming along to this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, love you so much, have a great day, and peace out.